French polishing is a finishing technique that dates back hundreds of years. It's a method for applying shellac that leaves no brush marks and a glossy surface. To do a French polish finish, you'll need some shellac. In this case, we mixed garnet shellac flakes with denatured alcohol to make a 2-pound cut. We'll keep some denatured alcohol handy to use as a solvent. Then we'll use a pad to apply the finish. And you'll need some mineral oil to use as a lubricant for the pad. This is a French polishing pad that I've used on previous projects. It's basically an outer wrapper with an inner material that acts as a reservoir for holding the shellac. Now, your choice of fabric for the outer layer should be a lint-free, tightly woven fabric that will leave no brush marks or stroke marks on the surface of the wood. To make one, cut a square of fabric. You can use a larger square for big projects, smaller square for small projects, and you can use the same material to create the wadding for the inside reservoir. Simply put it on the center of the fabric and pull the corners tight to form a ball with no wrinkles and as flat a surface as you can achieve. Then twist it in a knot to pull it even tighter. Here I'm using a pad that I've used several times before, and you can see how easy it is to apply shellac using the squirt bottle. By pushing it in, I can force the shellac into the wadding and check to see that I have enough. You can see it's a very simple back and forth stroke that begins off of the wood and ends off of the wood. With each stroke, I'm applying a very, very fine layer of shellac. It dries almost instantly. One way to tell that your shellac is being applied is to look for a vapor trail that follows the pad. It'll flash off almost immediately. Recharge the pad after you no longer see the vapor trail. Here I'm working with the grain, but thanks to the small layers of shellac that you're putting on using French polishing, you can work against the grain up until your final coats of finish. When the pad begins to grab at the shellac, apply the smallest possible amount of mineral oil to the bottom and resume polishing. Vary the strokes with figure eights and circles to give your arm a break. After you've been French polishing for several minutes, it helps to check your progress. Because you're using mineral oil, some of the sheen on the surface of the wood could be mineral oil or it could be the actual polish. The way to tell which is to wipe the surface with naphtha. The naphtha dissolves the oil but has no effect at all on the shellac. Here I'm using just a plain paper towel to apply the naphtha. I'll turn the towel over periodically to make sure that I'm exposing clean material and wiping away the oil, not just spreading it around. You can already see the sheen start to form. Part of that is from the naphtha waiting to evaporate, but part of it is also from the French polished finish. So the mystery's solved. The sheen is from the French polished surface. Now, by holding the tabletop at an angle light, I can see I still have a little bit of work to do. I've got a few spots here and here, but I've got a good start toward a glossy French polished finish.